Hello everyone, this is Faiza from Tailored by Faiza, and I am bringing you a series of super simple beginner friendly projects that you can do at your home. You can do it yourself, or you can do them with your teenage girls. These are super simple. If you know how to make a straight stitch and how to set up your sewing machine, you should be able to do these all the projects that I have included in this series. I will be doing that every week hopefully, but all the projects that are included in this series are specifically designed, or I would say that I have chosen those projects that will help you increase your sewing skill level. Okay, so for today's project I'm making a tortilla warmer. It looks like this. It has an opening at the front, and I have added a pocket. This is an optional step. If you would like to add a pocket, you can put some tortillas over here, and then you can put it in the microwave and warm it, or you can just use it to keep them warm in this one. The reason why I have quilted this on the top. I'll tell you the reason why I did it. So the reason why I've chosen this project is because it will help you learn how to cut the curves, because there are a couple of layers involved in it, and when you'll be doing this, you will know how to how to cut them smoothly, and then you will be able to know that how to sew a couple of layers together, as well as how to sew in curves, because there's a little trick involved into it and a lot of practice. So when you'll be sewing more often, you will know that how to sew the curves. The quilting, however, is optional. I would say that if you're a beginner, I recommend quilting at least the top of any project. The reason being that quilting is one of the best exercises to help you learn how to make straight stitches. So all you need to do is to grab a piece of pattern, whatever you're working on, and where you have to quilt, put this batting underneath it, and then use a ruler to make lines. You can, for beginners, I would say 1 inch apart is a good distance. So you can just grab a ruler which is 1 inch wide. For example, if I have a ruler over here, so I will just put it like this, and then I'll draw a line on both sides. And then I'll repeat it all the way across, and then I will do it diagonally, and then I will sew all those lines. So that's how you're going to get this look. This is 1/2 inch apart, but you can do 1 inch apart as well, and that gives a very good look to the project, as well as it helps you improve your sewing. It helps you improve how to make straight stitches. Again, that is an optional step. So for this one, you can actually the size I'm making today is 8 inches. However, the standard size is 11 inches. I'm making it for my daughter, and 8 inches is a very perfect size for her. If you are making the 8-inch size with the pocket, this pocket inside, then you will need 3 fat quarters. If you are making it without the pocket, then you will just need 2 fat quarters, and that should be enough. And a cotton. You make sure you are using 100% cotton batting. You can trace the pattern. It's a simple circle. It's 8 inches. It's 8.5 inches because 1/2 inch is seam allowance, but you can use any plate, anything circle that you have, and draw it out, and then cut all the pieces. How many pieces will you be needing is 2 pieces for the outer fabric. So the outer fabric means this and this. Okay, so 2 pieces for the outer fabric, 2 pieces for the lining, and 2 pieces for the batting. Now, if you're including a pocket, just like I did, then you will need 2 additional pieces, and all of these are the same size. Okay, now to put them together, if you would like to quilt it, then the first thing you have to do is that you will put the quilt batting, one of this quilt batting, take 1 piece, this, okay, and then 1 piece of the outer fabric, put it on top of it, just like this, and then draw the lines and quilt it, and then do the rest of the step. If you don't want to quilt it, then what you will have to do is how you will assemble these all is you will put this batting. First is to put the batting, the wrong side of the fabric. This is a printed side. This is the wrong side of the fabric, should be facing the quilting, the batting, and then on top of it you will put a layer. And this is the lining that you're putting. So a layer of lining, and then this is the pretty side of the fabric, and this is the wrong side. So you will face the pretty side of the fabric to the pretty side of the fabric. This is how you're going to line it up. Okay, you will do this with both of these pieces. So again, first this, and then this one on the top. The pretty side should be facing you. Batting, you can use any side. And then this thing, the right side to the right side, and this should be facing you. This is how you're going to put these two together. For the pocket, again, this is optional, but if you would like to make a pocket, then pretty side of the fabric should be facing each other, and you'll put it on top of each other. This is how we are going to put these three pieces together. But before we do this, I will grab my ironing board and I'll make a crease in the middle, because we will be sewing half semicircle on all these three pieces. So I will iron this from the middle, so I have a line to know that how far would I like to sew. Okay, just like this. So I'll grab my ironing board, prepare these pieces, put the pins, and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so I'm folding it in half. Then I'm making a crease in the middle. Then I'll take this piece, and on the lining side, I'm doing this on the lining side, because you don't want to iron on the quilted, the batting side. You don't want to, it may affect the batting, so you are not going to directly iron on this side. So you will just iron the top layer, which is the lining, and then you'll do the same with this one. Okay, so I have ironed all of these pieces together. Make sure they're all aligned, and as you can see, the center crease, so I will be putting pins. And now you have to sew a semicircle. What you can do is you can mark at 1/4 inch all the way across. I don't know if you can see what I'm marking. You can mark it all the way across, and then sew it all the way across the half semicircle. You can mark it all the way across and then sew it. So from this point until this point, half will be open. You are going to do this on all three pieces. I will prepare this and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so I have sewed, as you can see, I've used a contrasting thread so that you can see. I have sewed all these three pieces. Oops, sorry. Okay, the semicircle, I have sewed that. Now what you have to do is you have to cut the seam that you have sewed. You have to make snips all the way around. I have done in this one so that I can show you. If you have a pinking shear, you can go ahead and trim this off. What it does is it helps to turn out the curves very neatly. That's why you always have to make snips when you are sewing curves. And these have to be periodically. There is no constant distance that you have to keep in between them. Just make sure when you are making snips, you don't cut the actual stitch. Okay, so I will show you on, I guess this one will be more visible. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm making snips like this. See, I'm not cutting the curve. I'm not cutting on the stitch line. That's what I'm going to do all the way across. Okay, I will do it on this one and on the pocket piece as well, and then I'll show you how to turn it inside out. Alright, there's one thing that I forgot to mention. When you'll be starting and ending the stitch, don't forget to back tag. That's very important. Now that you have made snips, you will turn it inside out like so, and then you will give it a good press so that it settles down very nicely. Okay, so I have ironed them, all three of these. As you can see now, they look nice and pretty. If you would like to go ahead and give a top stitch, you can do it. Again, that's optional. Now you have to put this together. If you're not making a pocket, the pocket that I showed you in this one, if you're not making this one, then you will put it like this. So the pretty side, the outer fabric facing you, and the pretty side of this one on top of each other, and align it like so that these stitches matches each other. So the stitched part is together, and then you'll sew the rest of the semicircle. If you are doing a pocket, you will take this and put it on top of it. As I said, this is optional. So I'm going to go ahead and pin it all the way, and then I will make a stitch from here up till this point, and then I'll show you. This is how you should be aligning, and then this is the sewed side, and this is the open side. Okay, then you will put the pins. Okay, so I've pinned it all the way, And what you are now doing is you will be start sewing from here, this open thing, not this part, all the way across with the same seam allowance that you kept over here, all the way across until this point. Okay, so this is the rest of the semicircle. Okay, so now I have sewed this one from this all the way up to this point, and now there are 2-3 ways to finish this edge off. You can, if you know how to do a bias binding, then you can finish it off with the bias binding. If you don't and you have a serger, you can go ahead and serge this off, or you can use if you have a regular sewing machine, it must have a zigzag stitch. You can just do that zigzag stitch, or just cut a little bit more out of it and then do a zigzag stitch all the way around, or an overcast stitch, and that is going to secure the edges and finish it off nicely. And then you'll flip it inside out and your tortilla warmer is ready. So I'm going to flip it and show you. Okay, so I had a serger, so I serged this off. Now it's neat and nice from inside. Now you are going to flip it, turn it inside out just like that, and then give it a good press, and it's ready. Okay, make sure to poke these out as much as possible and then give it a good press. So I'm going to iron it and then I'll show it to you. Okay, so this is how it looks. Nice and pretty, ready to use, lined from inside, and it has a pocket. You can put some underneath there and then some over here. All right, so this is the tortilla warmer that we have prepared. If you are going to quilt it, it's going to look like this. If you're not going to quilt it, it will look like this. Super cute, super handy, and you can wash it. It's I mean, I've made it for my daughter, so it's 8 inches. She usually eats smaller tortillas, but the standard size is 11 inches, and for that you can cut a circle of 11.5 inches. I would highly recommend this project because it involves to sew with a batting, so you will get an idea how to sew multiple layers together. You can see it's quite thick over here, and you will know how to sew these things with the finishing. Unless you practice, you won't get a hang of it. If you'll quilt it, you will know how to sew the straight stitches as well. So in this series, I will be uploading one video each week, which involves super simple projects, and I highly recommend you do those. This is summer. You should be sewing these for yourself, for your loved ones. Enjoy this. If you like my video, please share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.